All right, so I am on so this is block 1, block 2, and now I'm on block 3, and you stitch 2 of each one. So I'm going to start block 3, and the beginning colors have all been the same. I've used lemon, lime, and clover. So let's go on over to the machine. I've been using a combination of Isacord and glide thread, and I'll put together a little thread list for this. So I'm going to go to my pocket, and I did design database transfer, so I'm not using a USB. I'm just going to go right here, and the one I'm doing is going to be this one. So you do 2 of 1, 2 of 2, 2 of 3, and 1 of 4. And I'm going to go ahead and set that. I'm using a 7x12 hoop. Go to your settings, choose your hoop size. There's my 7x12. I'm just going to say okay to that. I'm going to go embroidery. And what it's going to do is it's going to take the, it's going to be centered right over the center of the design. So I haven't been using my camera, my projector, or anything. Here is my background fabric, and I did mark the center of it. I'm going to give this a spray, a shot of spray. And in my hoop, I'm just using a piece of heavyweight tearaway. And I am just going to center this. And you know what else you can do is you can turn on your W plus right here. So let's go ahead and turn that on. That is going to be the center. And I'm just going to lay this down. So that is on my center, which is right about there. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure this is lined up in my hoop. It looks like, you know, about a little more than 1/4 inch on this side. And on this side, there's room for a little bit of arrow. So it doesn't have to be perfect. So, and if you don't have this, then you're just going to center it underneath your needle and make sure your edges are parallel. So first thing it wants to do is it wants to do the quilting stitch. I'm doing that in linen. I already have my linen in. Let's just go ahead and hit start. And there we go. This is sprayed down, and we're just going to go ahead and let that stitch. There's your tack down, and then it'll do the quilting. And I'm going to grab my colors. Looks like I need lime and clover. The quilting's so pretty. Okay, the next step says color 1. Oops, sorry. That's Poppy hitting the camera arm. Hang on. Let me see if I can get this back where she's not in the way. Okay. And the next step says change the color to the shading of the leaves and proceed to stitch color 2. So I'm just going to put lime in. I did have a big old ottoman here, but I switched it out because I needed the space. So now, Poppy doesn't have a place to lay down anymore. All right, let's go ahead and change this out. This is color number 2 in block 1. And we're gonna go ahead and put in lime. It's dark in here. I broke one of my lamps. I don't know what I did. So I need to get another one. But that's okay. Okay, here we go. This is going to do the placement stitch. And then we're going to grab some leaves. We're going to grab the leaves for that are going to fit in this. I cut them at just the original size, and then I cut them 2 clicks bigger. So hopefully I'll have something that fits. So let's go ahead. I have an array of leaves here. So I cut a whole bunch of the darker green, and then I cut a whole bunch of the lighter green, and I am heating up my clover iron right now. And we are going to press them down because I did use I'm hoping my headset is working right now. Hopefully it is. Hang on a second. Okay, so I'm picking my leaves right now, and you want 2 light here, a dark one here. So, I mean, I had to cut these twice because they just didn't fit. So, let's see if this one will fit here. Too small. Too big. Wrong direction. Okay, here's the big. Big, big, big. Those are way too big. Ha, ha, ha. I think that is actually the best fit. Hopefully I'll have one more round that's going to fit with the other ones. And I think my iron is all heated up. I'm trying to watch out because my dogs are here. I've melted the heck out of the little clover stand. Let's see. There we go. It's so dark over here. Sorry. I need a new light. All right. So I am coming over here. Here's my little ironing mat. I'm going to put it under here. And now here's my clover iron. I've got this all heated up, so it should iron pretty quickly. I have heat and bond light on the back of these, and you don't want to iron too much because I have melted the I've melted the thread before. I was like, oh, it's not that hot. And then I left it there and then it melted everything and left a big ugly yellow stain. So just be mindful of that. This one too. These fit perfectly. And then the last one, let's make sure there is matte under there. This one, oh, sorry. I'm watching Survivor 2 and I didn't even turn it off. Unprofessional. Hang on, let me turn that off. Okay, TV is now off. Sorry. I just forget. I forget that I'm watching TV and that you guys don't want to listen to that. Okay, I am a Survivor fiend and I watch it every year and I just love it. Here we go. I'm going to slide this hoop back on now that I have the leaves on, and look how cute they are. And like I said, I did have to, I cut them at just the regular SVG size, and then I had to cut them one more time, and I did 2 clicks bigger because they just seem so small. So hopefully I'll have one that will fit in the next round. Next thing it wants to do, if you look at your screen, I'm just going to clear that. It wants to do the shading, and I did that in clover. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my clover thread. I'm going to take out my lime. This is step number 3. There was only 7 steps in this one. With the other ones, there were more steps because there was lettering, way more lettering. So let's go ahead and thread her up. Poppy injured her foot, so I haven't really been able to walk them. I did hide and seek. Lick that mat. Let's do some training. Short walk. All right, we're going to let that stitch out. That's going to take us 2 minutes. And after this is, let's see. So we are doing shading of the stitch, the background quilting. We did that. This one we did with lime. And then cut the prepared applique in smaller rectangles, position them. So we did that. And then proceed to stitch number 3, which is the leaf shading. That's what it's doing right now. If you have pre-cut leaves, fuse them in place. Block 3. Is this not block 3? Because we are definitely on step 3. This looks like shading, the leaf shading. And we've already fused ours down. Okay. So 2 was the placement, and then we fused them down, and now it's 3, which is going to be the shading. Okay, so I think we're good. And then we're going to go to step number 4, the satin stitch of the smaller leaves and the bud stems and stitch. And so I did that with the other one. I'm kind of just sticking to what I did in the other ones. So I did that in lime, clover. Whoa! How did he get in there? How did he get in there? Oh, there's no flowers in this one. So we're going straight to the outline stitch. And we did the other outline stitches in... We did those in aloe. So I'm going to grab aloe next. It's a darker green. I'll write that in my color list. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put aloe in. Ooh. So I did the update on my machine and I'm not getting that gray screen anymore, which is very exciting. because I had to thread it to get rid of it. Progress. And then I think we're going to do lime and clover. So it's going to be lime and clover after this. This one's kind of a quick one. Just 18 minutes. Pretty fast. And back to this one. I'm trying to decide what color thread to use because I did all pink on that end to go with this, and this side I kind of did the gradient, like this to go with that, the lavender go with the lavender flower, the taffy to go with the inside of this, and this color to go with the outside. So I was thinking orange. Should I just do another maybe lighter color in the orange? So hard to decide. Here we go. Here's Miss Poppy. I know. So she doesn't like me giving the camera any attention. So I'm going to go put in lime and then clover, and then we'll do the lettering. And this one will be done. I bribed the dogs with food. They're upstairs. I've got a good 5 minutes till they come down. Actually, probably 2. That's how quickly they eat. I probably need one of those slow feeders, huh? I turned off the sound on my machine. Although the voices are nice, maybe I might need them some other time. Right now, I didn't feel like it was necessary. So I'm going to go ahead and let's make sure this is, I want to make sure that this is, I've got 2 things going. Oh yeah, because it shows the giant stem too, which I'm going to do in clover. All right, here we go. And then I just have to figure out what I want for the lettering. And then this one is done. Pretty quick. Yes, that was Momo you just heard. He's finished his meal. Now wants more love. Is there such a thing? Okay, now I'm going to put in clover. This is for color number 6, and this is going to be the sweeping stem. Oop. Sometimes it is, hang on. And then we'll do the lettering. He's just always optimistic. Ooh, just found it. Found the pink I want. It's gonna go pink and orange. I did hot pink. And then I'm going to do this. This is Isocord 2550. Let me write it on the list. right, I'm going to go ahead and put in 2550 for the lettering. And then I will stitch another. But I'm just going to film one of each. And I think for this, you need to have, how big is this design? It's 5.02. I know, isn't that so cruel? So you need to at least have a 6x10 hoop for this if you're on Baby Lock and Brother. All right, in the air. Sorry, just got to get through the dot and the exclamation point. They're hearing something. Maybe Patrick's home. Cute. And we are done. So this is going to be block number 3. And I'm going to pause it here, and I'm going to go ahead and stitch another one of these. That's going to go on the other side. And then we'll go ahead and do block 4. Thanks.